Well, it just happened. Another conspiracy got ticked off the list today. And yes, I do have a very sore throat today, so please excuse my voice, because the quaint little town of Oxford, home to Oxford University, one of the most prestigious universities in the world, beautiful architecture throughout the city, has now signed up to become what we know as a smart city, also known as a 15-minute city. Now, this has gone absolutely crazy in the media this last week, and even the police have gotten involved because the councillors of Oxford, and again, for the skeptics, I'm going to prove all of this from the government website and the council website. The councillors said that they've been getting all sorts of nasty messages about these lock pause downs. So we're going to have to use pauses in between words here. And this has only really come about because the councillor, I guess, wanted to be, get his 5 minutes of fame and did a Financial Times interview and all this sort of thing, expecting that everyone was behind these cities with zones, what some of you may call districts, where you're not allowed to travel out of your zone by car for more than X amount of days per year. So at the moment, it's proposed for 100 days per year where you can go out of your zone in your car. If you have 2 cars, that means only 50 trips each car. If you have 3 cars, that means 33 trips. No, this isn't made up. We're going to go onto the shared screen. I'm going to show you all of this. So here we go. This was from the oxfordmail.co.uk. Traffic filters will divide city into 15-minute neighbourhoods. Roadblocks stopped most motorists from driving through Oxford city centre will divide the city into 6 15-minute neighbourhoods, a county council travel chief has said, and he insisted the controversial plan would go ahead whether people liked it or not. Duncan Enright, Oxfordshire County Council's Cabinet Member for Travel and Development Strategy, explained the authority's traffic filter proposals in an interview in the Sunday Times. And by the way, if you're thinking, oh, well, this is just one town, city of Oxford, I don't even know if it's a town or city now, but if you're just thinking that, no, this is one of many of these trials that are due to begin soon. And I've got a couple more examples from Australia and a couple of other countries as well. Mr. Enright said it's about making sure you have the community centre, which has all of those essential needs, the bottle of milk, pharmacy, GP, schools, which you need to have a 15-minute neighbourhood. But Mr. Enright told the Sunday Times it's going to happen, definitely. The new traffic filters would operate 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. People can drive freely around their own neighbourhood and can apply for a permit to drive through the filters and into other neighbourhoods for up to 100 days per year. This equates to an average of 2 days per week. A maximum of 3 permits a household will be allowed where there are several adults with cars registered to the address. So this all came out just yesterday then. Council staff abused after conspiracy theorists circulate fake news about traffic filters. It's quite an interesting read, this actually, because we also have this statement here from Oxford City Council, which is pretty much identical. So what the so-called conspiracy theorists said would happen is actually happening. So I don't know how it's being called a conspiracy. The wholly incorrect information suggested that the traffic filters measures in Oxford would see parts of the city cut off from each other under a climate lockdown. As well as this, it was said residents would have to ask the council for permission to travel from one area of the city to another, which again is not true. Well, it kind of is, maybe not the asking permission, but the whole lockdown, the climate lockdown aspect here, it kind of is true, because what they're doing is restricting your travel by car in order to reduce CO2 and other emissions. So it kind of is true. So then we go on to the FAQs here. Will the Oxford traffic filters be physical barriers? No. So they're saying basically because it's not a physical barrier that this is all, made up and there's nothing to worry about. Well, this is what it is. It's almost the same. Okay, it's not a physical barrier, but they are simply traffic cameras that can read number plates. Okay, seems quite innocent. If a vehicle passes through the filter at certain times of the day, the camera will read the number plate. And if you do not have an exemption or a residence permit, you will receive a fine in the post. Okay, that's a bit weird. Have Oxford councils tried to secretly introduce the traffic filters? No. The proposals for traffic filters were first consulted on in 2019 and then updated in February 2020. What was going on in 2019 and February 2020? Of course, no one was distracted at all. A large number of changes were made to the scheme as a result of the consultation, including the introduction of 100-day passes for each resident, i.e. rather than complete restrictions into different zones. It's a bit like, it reminds me here of like the Hunger Games, the different districts and things like that. So they did this consultation from the 5th of September to the 13th of October 2022. In which 5,700 people responded to the consultation. Now, I tend to know a little bit about these consultations at the moment because I've actually filled in maybe 8 or 9 in the last 3 or 4 months. And what's really interesting is they never, these councils and governments, whatever, they never tell you the result. They always say it was sent to a third party for, independent verification, and they analyze it. And I always, would write to them and say, well, can I see the statistics? Because these were multiple choice questions. So surely you will have the numbers there that, shows what the respondents said. And they always say, no, you can't. So ladies and gents, I would strongly suggest you do Freedom of Information Act request, and then we'll see what the truth is, because they keep saying all the time, it's so crazy, it doesn't matter, it's going to happen anyway. So why the consultation? It's really just smoke and mirrors, that's all it is. So here it is. The responses were analysed by an independent research company, and the feedback received resulted in a number of updates to the scheme. The scheme will be introduced as a trial, during which an additional consultation will be carried out to further refine the scheme. A final decision will then be made on whether or not the filters should be permanent. And if you want to read a little more of this, you can go on to oxford.gov.uk, and this is their Oxford City Council, and you can read a lot more about what they've said here in terms of the scheme. Now, another document you might want to look at is Appendix 1, Zero Carbon 2030 Plan. By, again, what a surprise, 2030. We just keep seeing this date, this 2030 date. Fourth Carbon Management Plan, 2021 right through to 2030. That reminds me a little bit of, where was that video I did? Oh yeah, here it is. The Great Reset, 2020 to 2027. So you can actually go through and see all of their plans and what they're planning to do, how their investments are going to move forward in order to bring down all of these emissions and what else they're going to be doing. Everything is on their website, and it's quite an interesting read if you do like to read a lot of data. Another document that you can read then is this one. It's called letstalk.oxfordshire.gov.uk, and it's called Let's Keep Moving Forward. So here were the key dates when they did the consultation, open, close, and then the decision. I would love to see what has caused so much controversy in terms of 5,700 people that responded, as we can see here, because the way they're making it out is that all these people are crazy nutcases and they've abused us and whatever else. It's probably not the case. Probably what happened was a lot of people live in these zones, these areas, and they have cars and they drive from one part of Oxford to another, or maybe they go to work or something like that, and they say, hold on, I'm only going to be able to travel 100 days out of the year. That means 2 days out of the working week, basically. Well, that's just not going to work for me because I need to drive to work, I need to drive to this area. So I can completely understand a lot of people's frustration over all of this and why people are calling them climate lockdowns, because in a way that is what is being proposed here. They are these lockdown procedures in order to reduce CO2 emissions and other things. So if you want to know what these 15-minute cities are, this is the City of Melbourne map. And you can see this is their 20-minute city approach, but it will become 15-minute later on. So this is their 20-minute neighbourhood, and we can see here local schools, lifelong learning opportunities, local playgrounds and parks, green streets and spaces, community gardens, sport and recreation, safe streets and spaces, affordable. Now, let me just say one thing on this sport and recreation that's interesting, because when you look at their emission targets, the sport and recreation actually accounted for about 50% of gas usage. So they had a target to actually reduce a lot of this down. So that's quite interesting, because we actually need a lot of sport and recreation. It's very, important for human beings to get active and get fit and get out into nature. So safe streets and spaces, yeah, good luck with that one. Crime is exploding at the moment. Affordable housing options, how on earth are they going to do that? Have you seen the prices of housing and the earnings ratio to buy a house? Ability to age in peace, housing diversity, okay, walkability, safe cycling networks, local public transport, well connected to public transport, jobs and services within the region, and local employment opportunities. And then it finishes with local shopping centres and local health facilities and services. I just can't see how they're going to get to this utopian vision they have here when you have all of these problems. Healthcare is suffering really badly, it's overwhelmed. We definitely don't have safe streets at the moment. Now, some of you might live in safe areas, but a lot of European cities and American cities are definitely not safe right now. Crime is just exploding, just through the roof. So I really do think a lot of this is utopian, because they're getting a lot of this information from the UN and the WEF. In fact, let's look at that. So I pulled this up. You can find it on the WEF website. It's an entire video on the 15-minute city. It's called SDIS 21, Sustainable Development Impact Summit. It is worth a watch. It's quite interesting because you know what it is they are creating. And this isn't new. You can go to the WEF website and look, this goes back to 2018. These will be the world's megacities in 2030. Again, we keep having this date. Now, 2030 is where you will own nothing and be happy. And it all plays into this smart city grid, where they say that you won't have your own car because there just won't be the resources available for everyone to have a car. So you will share vehicles and you'll use public transport, and the train and the bus, and everything will be electric, and that's what will get you into the city. And if you want anything, well, then you can rent it and it will fly in by drone or whatever else that they're going to do. And don't forget that there's also zones outside of the city, those that got left behind, if you remember that article. And it does remind me of things that I've read before, where it talks about the future, how you'll have a sort of two-class system, those within the city and those that have the what do they call them, like the mark, QR codes and things like that. And you can go shopping and all this stuff. I know I'm getting a little dystopian here, but it does remind me of this, because what are people going to do that don't want to live under a lot of quite, strict rules within the city? Well, you are going to always have people that want homesteads, that want to live outside of the cities and things like that. So how is this going to fit in with this 2030 agenda? I'm really not sure. So these are the mega cities that they are talking about. And it's just ironic to me to talk about safe cities. What? Los Angeles, LA, Chicago, NYC. Yeah, they're probably some of the least safe cities I've ever been to. London, Paris. Yeah, I wouldn't exactly call them safe. What about, what else did they say? Affordable housing. Really, in any of these cities, I don't think so. Good healthcare. Again, I just don't see it. I think this is very much a utopian dream. So that is you up to date then on these new smart cities and these 15-minute cities, and how they're coming together now. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I will be good for the walk and talk tomorrow. Apart from that, see you then. Take care. God bless. Well, it just happened. Another conspiracy got ticked off the list today. And yes, I do have a very, apart from that, see you then, take care, God bless.
That's what it is.
Well, it just happened.
Okay, shut up. There we go. Oh, I gotta have 2 people and 3 people in Clapper. Yay! Say hi. Quit screwing up. Notify your followers to go. Yes, okay, notify. Why wouldn't Clapper automatically do that? All right, 200 people in TikTok. I got 0 likes. That's bull. That's total bunk. And say hi. Good morning, Paz. Good to see you. Paz in the desert. Good to see you, Broseph. While we're waiting for the TikTok to wake the hell up, I'm going to go ahead and read off the old YouTube family. Bradley Collins first, followed by Barb, Doug Frost, Catitude, Tina, Star. Good morning, Star. One of my 2 favorite Canucks that I know of. Oh, let's see here. Faith, Dog and Ball. Bradley had a request already. I've already dug some information up for you. Since it is free or open forum Friday. Also, if you're on the YouTube, you know it's something else. You know it's something different today. Let's see. We got Miss Melody. We got Chris. We got Debbie. JDM showed up. Nice to see you, girls. And man. Sounds like Demolition Man movie going real. I'm gonna be the one living under the city. Oh yeah, it's getting pretty crazy. It's getting pretty crazy. Like, unliked, and reliked. Thank you, Tina. I appreciate that. That's for my YouTubers. You gotta like it, you gotta unlike it, and then you gotta relike it, and that wakes the algorithm up. On the TikTok side, we just dropped 100 people. Like that. Ask them to do one stupid little thing, and they run away like petulant children. You gotta love it. Let's see here. TikTok people. We got Ron. I already said hi to me Boehner Realty. You gotta say it like a robot. Me Boehner Realty. We got Ronnie. Good morning. Or Ron, good morning. Paz, I said hi. Nut Man with a 50 cal. I love it, Broseph. Get that sucker roof mounted. Guns and Lips. Whoa, that's I like it. I like it a lot. Tim Case, good morning. I ask all comments to be in all caps so I can read it. Laugh out loud. No. Let's see here. Blue Eyes, good to see you. Good to see you. Got Trish. Trish, good morning. Good morning, Trish. Let's see here. And yeah. TikTok says I have 35 people in here. That's a joke. All right, and then my clappers. Let's see here. So we got West Virginia Pappy and Boy Scout. Good to see you guys. And the third one is a lurker, too afraid to say anything. What's Boy Scout saying? I watched the video on YouTube, but I don't have an account yet. So now in here. Well, get off it, slacker. Get busy. That's where I'm going. I'm turning all this other crap off. Let's see here. Chucky checked in. Tactical Combat Florist. I love it. What's up, Broseph? Semper Gumby. April showed up. Good to see you. Okay, let's see. So I had a request this morning, and obviously, if you're not picking up what I'm laying down, it is Open Forum Friday, also known as Don't Give Up Friday, because we're going to talk about whatever you want to talk about. And the first request actually came in from Bradley. Bradley asks, I was curious what a great way to find information about your local area for safety, locations, etc. Oh, excuse me. That's a yawn. Shelters or where water will be passed out. Bradley, I immediately went to looking at that on Radibit. What's up, Shaliba, West Virginia? Sheila B. Almost like it's like a 1980s singer, Sheila B. Let's see here. So let's see what I pull up here. Let me move some coffee cups out of the way. We're gonna go to the big screen. Hopefully all these buttons are working today. Ta-ta! Okay, let's see what I find for you, bro. So first thing you had got to do is, I hate to say this, dude, but you just gotta Google. Now here's what the first thing you have to remember about anything that has to do with a place that is going to be providing any type of emergency services is go to where the power is. And the power is always in the county. County sheriffs are the most powerful people in the states, basically. Okay? So their organizations are going to be the most funded, they're going to be the most robust, and they're going to be giving orders down to whomever is under them. So search for your location, your county, and then just put emergency services or emergency shelter locations. So I picked Moore County because that's the place that had the power problem. If you're on the YouTube side, if you're on the TikTok or Clapper side, you can't see this. And I came up with a whole buttload of things, homeless shelters, emergency services, things like that. But one of the big things that you can do is you can actually go for, there's a thing called disasterassistance.gov. And you can search for open shelters. So say a hurricane's coming through or the power's down or they're going to constantly use these identified places, and they're on, I hate to say it, but they're normally like high school gyms and stuff like that. But they're going to constantly use these places as solid points where you can like pick things up, drop things off, get information. They're going to have part of their, they're going to have a contingent for the Emergency Operations Center somehow radioed into these places or done by cell phone. In my area, there are very few at all. I got you, Wild Child. It happens, but I'm saying you have to look for them, you know. You're either going to have this support or you're not. And the further you get away from an incorporated city, town, village, the less services are going to be available to you. Okay, so let that one sink in. But I found this one. This is disasterassistance.gov, and they actually have maps and databases for you to search for these places. Now, I would go into the counties and look harder, but I wanted you guys to see this because you can actually like find open shelters, find housing and homeless services, resources for homeless veterans, need housing, food, or other assistance, things like that. But we can go to the Find Open Shelters button. We're going to jump off of that. It's going to open that window up right there. And we're going to go block because you don't need to know. Currently, there are 2 open shelters in the nation. Okay? Now, here's why. Because these shelters only... I tried to find a bunker in Kansas City. Carla, I don't know if you can find one in Kansas City, but there's nothing that's impossible. Also, you might want to look at, if you own property, building your own bunker. Yeah, I actually have that pulled up too. Go and meet with local people and converse. Yes. Camper KY? Camper KY. You know what KY is, right? Let's see here. But so when you go looking for, one of the reasons we can never find these things when we plan is because they're all active databases. So if there's not an emergency, then nothing's open. Okay? So you can put in your zip code and everything. So I'm going to put like, I don't know. We're going to put more County, North Carolina in that puppy. And we're going to see that it jumped right to it. And the S equals an open shelter. So there are currently no open shelters in Moore County, North Carolina. But if a hurricane rolled through there, a tornado, something like that, started ripping stuff up, you could use this as a way to do it. And this is actually on redcross.org. Okay? Let's see here. The other thing you can do is search by state. Okay? So once again, we're staying on the North Carolina theme. And they actually provide these active maps, like for open shelters, power outages, weathers. A lot of the states have very, very robust information portals, okay, that they man 24 hours a day. Once again, there's no emergency shelters open in the state of North Carolina because there is no emergencies in the state of North Carolina. So finding that information for planning, you have to dig deeper, okay? Another asset that you can actually use, we used that one already, I guess that one already, okay? You can actually go to whatever that county's website and look up community resource guides, okay? And this one's 10-page deep, and oh look, it's full of phone numbers, okay? What we got here? Mobile Crisis Hotline, 877-626-1772. You see what I'm saying? And then non-emergency resources. Just this whole slew of phone numbers that you can call to find out information. So you have to put the effort in. Nothing is going to be hand-fed to you when you're looking for these resources during a period of non-emergency. Okay? Did you see one man with a long gun in a truck shot a power plant in South Carolina? I had heard about that, but I didn't really jump into that. I didn't really pay any mind to it. Let's see here. Looking at the YouTube chat. Star was talking about what's going on in Britain. In one of the cities in Britain, they're sectoring things off, almost like the Hunger Games, and you're not going to be allowed to drive more than 15 minutes from your house. They're doing it. They're doing it. I don't think it'll stick. I think that they'll have a riot on their hands. They do this every single time. This is also the same city that had the police out walking around during COVID lockdowns, like arresting and beating people up because they walk their dog. Let's see here. You're on Smart View on my TV this morning. Nice. Oh, you guys see YouTube and TikTok? Can you? There we go. You see a new addition to my background? Oh yeah. Wait for it. What? Yeah, I added that. That's actually been sitting in a box on my floor. What's up, Prepping Mama? The Prepping Mama. Good to see you. Hello. Yeah, I added that. I think you could see it a lot better in the... let me push this button right here. I think you can see that a lot better. During certain times when there's not enough ambient light in the room, it's just this bright light. But I picked that up. What's up, Tony? What's up, Shelby? I picked that up. I'm not joking. That is one of those, like, electronic picture frames. I picked that up for like $7 at the church store that's down around the corner, you know. Camper says, buy topography maps of your area you live in with the forestry office. Yes, that's one way you can do it. You could also print them out yourselves. Physical paper maps, absolutely. And if you are smart and can and have the ability, laminate them. They make these little laminators. I just brought that up the other day. Gotcha, Doug. Let's see here. Hit the road, Jake. I don't recognize you, Jake, but welcome. Welcome to the YouTube. Every time we get somebody new, make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you are informed. Yeah, I used to do a lot of work in another life where I had to print my own maps off because they didn't exist. Let's see. Good morning, Bob. Where are we at here? I'm relatively new here. That's okay, Tony. Everybody's welcome. Just be aware, Tony, I had announced that earlier that as of January 1st, I'll no longer be live streaming on TikTok. I will still make videos here just for traction, you know, pointing people in the right direction for things. But everything will be on, you are on TikTok. I know I'm on TikTok. I'm on TikTok here, and I'm on Clapper there, and I'm on YouTube over there. I'm everywhere. I'm like omnipresent, baby sang. Thanks for showing up, though. Let's see here. Okay, so that's how we find the resources in our area. What's this tab over here? What's this? Oh, and there's always your local news. Let me turn this back on here. Believe it or not, your local news is always a solid resource for things because they have a responsibility in an emergency, like a legal responsibility in an emergency, to actually state the facts. If they say something wrong, either unintentional or intentional, they are liable. So when you see something about, so for instance, the News and Observer is a big newspaper in the state of North Carolina. Food, shelter, charging ports. Here's where to find help in Moore County power outage. This is from December 8th, so this is just from yesterday. And it tells you where all the stuff is that they know of. Oh, look, they've even got a little resource map that we can zoom in on, and it will tell us where stuff is. What's this green thingy? What's that? Southern Pines, open for shower facilities. What do we got? Voss. We got Voss over here. This is, it's the Piggly Wiggly. The Pineapple Plug will be at the Piggly Wiggly in Voss from 1 p.m. until 3 p.m., giving away hamburgers, hot dogs, and water while supplies last. So do not discount your local news, okay? Do not discount your local news. In fact, you should probably have that as part of your emergency communications package. You should protocol. You should probably have that. All right, here. Learn how to read maps, hike with a compass, and figure out different ways to go from your home. Yeah, Camp Herky. I agree. That's kind of a lost. It's kind of a lost art. But it is valuable. It is a valuable art. So, hey, Bob, good morning. Good morning. And Organized Pineapple and Window Liquor and Cody. Good morning. Let's see here. But yes, those are all things that you should learn how to do. The problem is, so here's the problem, guys. And I talked about this briefly with my Patreons this morning. I'm going to switch coffee cups because it is Friday. We're going to, let me fix this. let me put this coffee back inside the pot where it can stay warm for a while. And in honor of it being Friday is a big day for the Patreons. So the Patreons know what this is. Yeah, they do. They know what that is. So we're going to do this in honor of Jerry, who I would love to see come back to the Discord just to hang out for a little while. But I mean, we'll see what happens. So, but Jerry's definitely a loyal Patreon. So to you, my friend, cheers. Every problem that we run into is all about time. So many their phone tells them what. Easy for some, but I know so many that only know what their phone tells them. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But here's the thing. Camperkey, there are no drones circling your house. That's what I tell people when they think too hard about their digital footprint, because they already have you, dude. China already has 80% of the United States citizens' name, rank, social security number, date of birth, favorite ice cream. They already know all this shit about you. So take that one with a grain of salt. Where do you find the Discord? On my TikTok, if you go to the link in my bio, if you go push that little white thingy up there, I think it's in your screen too, my little logo, you'll see one link, and that will take you to my link tree. And then just scroll down until you see Discord. Now, if it's not there, which it should be because I put it there several times, I don't know why it keeps acting weird, go to localprepper.net and then scroll down until you see Discord. Click on that, jump in, say hi, we'll say hi back, and we can get the conversation going from there. Thank you for the info. I'm behind. Had to pause. No problem, Bradley. You asked for it. You got it, Toyota. Let's see. I have a cousin who thought the government was spying on him with drones. Well, that's just sad. I don't think people understand how much it costs to fly these things. I don't think they're about to get it to follow you around. Thank you, Organized Pineapple. I appreciate that. You're doing a super duper job today. Boop boop. Let's see. If the power goes out and your phone dies. If. Okay. What if your dog had a square asshole? Would he shit bricks? If. Let's not play the what if game. Never play the what if game, because it'll just lead you places that you don't want to waste any time going to. So, let's see. What if you had a battery backup? What if you had a battery backup? What if you had a small Well, wait. You know what? Wait. You know, they sell these things at Walmart, and they sell these things at Amazon, and yeah, I can recharge my cell phone 3 times with this puppy. This one will be about 2.5. I have bigger ones too. I mean, what if we had those? Because they don't cost anything. You know, what if we had something like that had a solar panel? Oh my God! What if? Wait! I don't think. Can you see that back there? Let me make that easy for you. What if we had? Hands not moving right. Let's see. What if we had those and those solar panels, and then those are just enough to charge our cell phones? What if we did that for like $35? That's how we play the what if game. All right, so what if I ate all my canned M&Ms? If you have canned M&Ms, Ironbug, I want pictures. If it's not on YouTube, it didn't freaking happen. and if you do have canned M&Ms, come off that shit, man. I mean, come on. It's P.O. Box 12, Onancock, Virginia. Figure out the zip, brosif. Don't be stingy. I actually posted it in the Patreon yesterday. The what is it? Freeze-dried marshmallows. Can you recommend a good bug-out bag? It's a tricky subject, man. But RJ, I'm just calling you RJ, bro. 23602. That must be your zip. Good to go. RJ. Honestly, I'm not really into the tactical stuff. And it really all depends. Your bug out bag has to be individualized to get you to your bug out location. So only you know how long it's going to take. Then it's got to be individualized. It's got to be set up for the weather. Is it winter? Is it summer? Is it fall? The bag itself. It almost, I hate doing that stuff because it always blows my mind. Top 10 bug out bags. Amazon link, Amazon link, Amazon link. And here's the thing. I sell shit on Amazon. I got an Amazon store. But every single thing that's in my Amazon store is either owned by me, tested by me, or has been completely reviewed by me. And I don't even think I have a bag. Okay, I'm going to give you a recommendation. Cost effective, works every time. Go to Walmart. They sell a 50-liter, I think it's 50 or 55-liter hiking backpack that the Chinese company who makes that backpack stole from, what is it? It's not Oakley. It's the Osprey brand. You could take one and put it right next to the other, and there's just these minute little differences, Let's see here. I now have you on YouTube. It's lagging to TikTok. Haha. Yeah, TikTok. Well, TikTok is throwaway. YouTube will always have a lag or a buffer because it's actually being recorded in the background. That's why it's always anywhere from 7 to 30 seconds slower. I've seen up to 1 minute depending on their server speeds. But yeah, so people can watch it later. It's getting locked into their servers for free. Let's see here. But yeah, I've got, and I made a video of this actual backpack. Not joking. I'm not even an affiliate for Walmart. I would look it up for you, but it's just go. I only done like a handful of reviews on different like the knife review, the pack review, some other stupid little things, how to survive off YouTube stuff, or not, but Walmart stuff, stuff like that. Well, yeah, of course, because there's people are, the algorithm has us. That's why I'm super laggy on all things. Hey, what's up, Doomsday? I see Doomsday on Clapper. What's up, Broseph? Stop saying hi to all my people. Jester knows I don't give a shit. It's not a big deal. Let's see here. What the hell? But yeah. Go to Walmart. It's like a 50-liter backpack. If you really need it, if you want to watch the review, go to my YouTube channel. It's Local Prepper, all one word. It's got the same exact logo as up there. And just start looking through my videos. I think I have a playlist for gear reviews, so you might be able to find it faster that way. But if not, have fun, because there's like 500 videos there. But and I did it last, not this summer, but the summer before last. So basically a little over a year ago. Let's see here. Always good to be prepared for everyday emergencies. If you have a bug out bag, you better have a location to bug out to. Absolutely, Window Liquor. Absolutely. That's why I said the bag has to be tailored for you to get to your bug out location. Let's face it, there's a lot of people out there that they ought to just call them escape bags is what they ought to call them. But and there's actually another name. What is it? Never coming home bag or something like that. And this is full up, basically like 100-liter mountaineering bag full of so much stuff. It's unbelievable, But unless you're over 200 pounds and in exceptional shape, you're basically 200 pounds of meat and muscle and bones. You trying to carry that size of pack for any distance whatsoever, even though you may train with it, is going to put you in a level of pain that you have probably never experienced before. What's up, Tiff Gob? Good to see you. Let's see. Good if you're on a budget. I go to the local prepper auction. I go to the local auction and buy prepping supplies and items for cheap. Dude, window, good idea. Yeah. Hey, listen, I pay attention to that. I love, in the area that I live in, there are a lot of spring and summer town sales. And what they'll do is the town will basically put the word out. They'll put it up on their billboards. They'll get it through the fire stations, all the local networks. Hey, we're having a giant town-sized yard sale, and no joke, man, like every third or fourth house inside these little towns, and we're talking about maybe 60, 50 houses in these little towns, a table will be out front, blah, blah, and boom, I get so much prepper stuff off these guys for pennies on the dollar. It's not even funny. They just want to get rid of it. I think last year I got one of those butane stoves, brand new, in the box, in the carrying case, in the wrapper, with like 30 canisters of butane for, I want to say it was like $20. And I was like, dude, why are you getting rid of this? And he told me, so when we first moved into this place, they had an electric stove and oven, and the hurricanes come through from time to time and knock things out, and they wanted the ability to cook if the power went out. Well, so they got that, they prepped up, and then they got a gas stove. They replaced their electric stove with a gas stove. And so now they're not worried about it, and they just wanted to get rid of it. And I was like, dude, why don't you just leave it on the shelf in case something really goes wrong? He's like, no, we're good. So for like $20, I got, like, no joke, a huge buttload of butane and a brand new stove that had never even been out of the package. Let's see. Hope you give it to a homeless person. No, I would keep that in my preps. 1POINT618. It's not for not giving, because I give in other ways. But here's the thing. And frankly, there's not a lot of homeless people where I live. So, I'm not driving to the big city to hand a stove over to somebody. Anywho, this is something that I see has been coming up a little bit more often in these live streams, where people are like, give. Make your generator run on liquid propane. Oh, yeah, I would love to. I would love to buy a liquid propane generator. Or just convert the two that I have. But back on point. There's been a lot of people talking about giving. Now, if you can give and you feel as if you are prepared for whatever may happen, then yeah, maybe go out and try to help somebody. You know what I'm saying? But if you can't, then you shouldn't. And there will be people that will disagree with me. This mentality that it takes a village only works if the village knows it. If you're just out there handing things willy-nilly out, it's almost as if you may be trying to make yourself feel better. I know this to be a fact because, and I'm sorry to have to change your screen. Hopefully you'll stick around and learn something. My guess is that you have everything that you need. My guess is that you're here just to be heard, since you decided to go out of your way to just say, to try and prove your point. But in reality, your point was never refuted. I had come back from a trip one day, and this was in the last 30 days. I'd come back from a trip one day, and we pulled off the road because we'd been driving for a while, and both of our bladders were full, and I needed a Red Bull to keep me awake to make sure I got home alive. So we pulled off at the local Wawa, which is actually a super awesome place. Went inside, did our business, and grabbed a Red Bull, and there was a guy in the line in front of me, and it was like 28 degrees outside, and he's wearing this really shabby hoodie, torn up jeans, crappy shoes, and and he's shaking, and he's trying to buy this sandwich. And he's got cash in his hands. So I'm like, okay, good. But I keep watching him and watching him and watching him. And the more I watch him, the more I realize this guy's probably homeless. And I'm just like, what? This doesn't make any sense. So he bought his stuff, and then he went back over to where he could nuke his sandwich and heat it up and stuff. And I'm just like, what? No, there's no way this guy isn't homeless. So I immediately tell myself that the only thing I can do is give him a cash and give him a jacket. I'm just going to get in my car where the heater's running, and I've got jackets at home, and I'm going to give him my jacket. It's the only thing I can do right now. And so I approached him, and he went into defensive mode. He was nice. He was courteous, and I was like, dude, hey, listen, are you homeless? And he's like, oh, no, man, you're probably worried about my clothes. I work 20 hours a day, and I do some really dirty work, and this is how I look all the time. And people are always asking me about this, and yeah. And it was like, are you sure? Because I think you're full of shit. And he was so ashamed he wouldn't back down. He wouldn't take my jacket. He wouldn't take my money. He wouldn't do anything. He wasn't insulted, but he was like, no, man, I'm good. Everything's fine. Everything's absolutely fine, It's like, okay. So I went outside. I got in my car, and I watched this guy basically run down the street. He didn't come in there in a car. He crossed a major, I wouldn't say it's a highway. Technically it is by number, but it was a major road with major traffic on it, and he crossed it. And it was just like, why wouldn't he take it? Is he so proud that he wouldn't take it? Or was he just telling me the truth? Now, why am I telling you this story? Because of TPOINT618 trying to push their agenda on they're in the street and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, listen, dude, you think people don't frickin' know these things? You think that people don't know that they're homeless? You think I don't know that there's homeless frickin' vets, okay, living in the street? Maybe before you come on somebody's live stream, you think about what you're going to say, or maybe you just listen instead of trying to push your agenda. And that's going to be that. All right, let's see here. What do we got? What do you think about hunkering down in a city apartment with a lot of supplies instead of bugging out? Johnny, I think that as long as you have solid reinforcements on your entryways, doors, windows, things like that, you could be in a good state. Now, it's always, the general rule is it's always better to bug in than bug out, because this is where you keep all your stuff. And Treasure Valley Girl, hello. Let's see here. Let's see how I keep forgetting about the old what do we got here? The clapper. I keep forgetting I've got the clap. Let's see here. RC showed up. Good morning, Trish. There you are. There we go. In Charlotte and C, there's one called Vista Auction. Gotcha. It hurts most of our brothers and sisters that served out on the streets. Absolutely true, Trevor. It does. But I think that as long as you have a buttload of food, if you can get 3 months worth of food and water up in that thing, you're good to go. The only problem you're really going to have is power and water. And then you basically need probably around 500 gallons of water for you and yours for probably a 3-month period. And I'm just guessing here off the top of my head. And that's going to be a serious storage problem. You also need the ability to generate power for whatever means. And it's actually pretty simple as to why. And that is because you're going to need to be able to communicate. You keeping a radio going. Maybe you got one of them wine radios, and that's cool. But Let's face it, cell towers are an issue, and then your neighbors are not going to not going to be the people that have the ham radios. That's for sure. But I see that as your biggest problem. Security could be a problem. Somebody could set the building on fire, and now you and your stuff go up. But that's I would say that's a lower probability than people just trying to break in. After about 3 days, people start banging on doors, and if they have the ability to get in, then they will try. So, let's see here. Hit the road, Jake. He is on Spotify. Let me link it in a minute. Gotcha. Oh, somebody asked me for my podcast. Yeah, I'm on Spotify. I'm on Anchor, and I'm also on Podbean, which I'm actually doing some work there. I do have a podcast that I'm working on right now. And I do have a new video that I'm working on now about the amount of preppers that there are in the United States. It's pretty interesting stuff. Let's see here. You're going to have to get rid of your shit. Also, sewer treatment plants will be down. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But you know what? I've been in countries where they have multiple floors, and all they do is they just do their business in a bucket, and every morning it gets dumped out the window. So, because there's actually like sewage drains in those countries. Now, will that work here in America? No, it won't. It's going to be a mess. All right. What else can we talk about? I've got a couple of things queued up, but let's see here. I was watching, believe it or not, 60 Minutes did a thing on preppers. And it was about, I want to say it was October they did it. So I'm probably going to turn that into a video for, it's already a mess. Well, I guess it's all fun and games until you have to, walk through. Instead of walking around the turd piles, walk through the turd mess. Yeah, it's all fun and games until that happens, Why my name not on Patreon LP? Trevor, we've been over this. I'm going to look. No one else. I'm not looking for anybody else, damn it. But your name is on there. Let's see here. Jessica. What is that? C. Lefevre. Where's that at? Trevor, second to last. You're on there. Quit your complaining. Let's see here. What do we got here? In a high-rise, well-protected entryway, I expect the likelihood of somebody rappelling down to the windows are small. Yeah, I mean, they really would want it. They would really, really want to have to get in there, What's the next big sign we should watch for? Futures. That's cool. Let's see. The next big sign. There's no... sorry, I have a 15-minute break. If you responded, I was probably back to work. There's no next big sign futures. There's no next. What we're experiencing is throat punches from every direction. You see those scenes where, like in a kung fu movie, where there's like 20 dudes encircling the one guy who's the star of the show, and they're just like blah blah, and he's just fighting them off, and blah blah, and he's fighting them off. You're the guy in the middle. You're the guy in the middle right now. We're getting it's just crushed in every direction. The things that are most evident, the dystopian stuff, is most evident in Europe, Canada, and Australia. There's no... It's like, why do these things happen? Why are all these bad things happening? It's got to all come back to one thing. It can't be like all the crazy people got smart one day and said, we can really mess things up. It's got to be coming from someplace. It's got to be, the world. The was it WHO? What is it? The other one that the Nazi dude, the Jewish Nazi dude runs. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, But the reality is that it's coming from every direction. What's the worst case scenario in your opinion? Here in the U.S., a false flag, or known as a black swan event. It could be anything, and then that would give the federal government a reason to declare a national emergency. Now they've tried it in the past. They tried it with the pandemic, and it worked to an extent. But once they realized that people wouldn't put up with their bull, and that there was so much pushback and their lies were being openly refuted, not just by doctors, but the fact that there were states and there were major metropolitan cities that pushed back on these requirements during that emergency declaration, that proved that they were full of shit. So those states and those cities were marginalized in the media so that they could continue this pandemic, this giant scare tactic. Now, I believe that there are more devious things way behind that. In fact, the use of the word evil would enter my diction when speaking of these things. And I plan a video later on about that on a different platform that will let me say what I want to say. But, if you just look at Miami, that's the best example. If you look at Miami, they never closed anything. They never mandated anything. They never required anybody to shut down, go home, close their business. They never played the 6-foot rule. They never did any of that stuff. And the whole city didn't just turn into zombies. So I think that that's worst case scenario for us. There's some sort of event that happens that allows the government to execute an emergency action. The president can do it at any time. And then it would just be a matter of, it would basically be, this happened, these are the things that we're doing. Everybody just go home and just lock yourself down and stay off the streets. And, then in 48 hours, they'd be like, oh, things are really bad. And, we've had time to analyze the situation and want you to do this. And they're going to try and make it as if they're doing stuff for you. But it would we very quickly realize that we'd fallen for it again. So I don't think it would end well for the government. I think that the U.S. public would probably put up with that kind of shit for about 3 months. And then all these people that we're talking about gathering their pews and walking towards places, would start to very quickly come up. And here's the thing, they wouldn't have to. The nation wouldn't have to march anywhere, you know what I'm saying? It could just be 12 bubbas who got tired of their city council playing these games, and you guys are done. Go away. You're done. Go home. You're done. And then if that happened in every little city or every little town, the counties wouldn't have the power, wouldn't have the manpower to stop those cities from doing those things. And then now the counties would be like, well, this all makes sense. And then it would just kind of trickle up. There's not enough National Guardsmen to stop these towns from doing those things if it became necessary. It's kind of like how It's kind of like how the American Revolution happened, if you think about it. So that's my worst case thought. I mean, I'm not planning for that in any way, shape, or form. But you asked, and it's Freeform Friday, and it's also Don't Give a that Friday, you know. Let's see. Lockdowns hinder natural immune system function. Absolutely true, April. Look for Google George Carlin immune system. No, George Carlin. What is it? Bacteria, I think, or something like that. And you'll get a good 8-minute rant on how things are supposed to be. Bubbas are great, but undisciplined Bubbas are not. Bunches of armed, untrained Bubbas isn't good. Well, here's the thing. No one said stand up an army. Nobody said go patrolling. Nobody said anything. Basically, those Bubbas just get the job done, and then they do what they really wanted to do. Go home and be left the hell alone. So, maybe think outside the box, Broseph. Think outside the box. Let's see, what do we got on the YouTubes here? And we are edging up on 11 o'clock, and I have not showed you that video. So I have this feeling that I'm going to go past 11 o'clock because I have a video that I want you guys to watch. Good morning, I'm late. Do much better, pineapple. Nice. Holiday mode. Gotcha. Festive. Oh, yeah, the tree. You guys like the tree? Ha-ha. It's, the timer goes off at 10 o'clock. Let's see here. Then what fills the vacuum? The newly elected officials who understand that Bubbas will come back if they don't do their jobs. Does that answer your question? What's up, Covey? Good to see you, Broseph. George Carlin was right on. Would he be saying, I told you so, if alive? Oh, yeah. He would be screaming at the top of his lungs. He would be screaming it at the top of his lungs. I need more coffee. I need more coffee. So, hey, since it's been brought up, and I'm in a talkative mood, Scott, what would be your solution? And you don't have to write a paragraph out. You can put little bullets in there, and I'll pay attention. And I'm being serious. I'm not being facetious, okay? I'm serious. What would be your solution? If that would happen, other than the Bubbas, what would be your solution? And I'm not, like I said, I'm not being facetious. I really want to know. Let's see. George is turning over in his grave for sure. Actually, totally true. Whoever's doing that on what is it? On Clapper. Thank you. There's like all sorts of hearts and stuff showing up on my Clapper. I don't know what that is. You may continue. Let's see here. Okay, so now the chat has gone dead on all of these feeds. I must have said something that got people really going. Okay, so while you guys are typing whatever you're typing, I'm going to go ahead and turn that movie on. I'm going to push this button over here and pray it works, and then we'll be back right after that.
Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing great. We're going to talk about Nigeria, but the reason why I want to talk about it, you're like, why are we talking about Nigeria? I don't live there. It's very important, right? Because have you ever heard the term pride comes before a fall? Well, it's very, very true, right? And I'm going to be honest with you. I've been guilty of this myself. We get super excited, super pumped up about who we are, where we are in life, and we start to get super excited, possibly a little cocky, and before you know it, boom, we're flat on our face, and we're going, what just happened, right? And I learned this from a man that was very wise, and he said, never forget who you are and where you came from, because when you do, or if you do, you will lose it all. Never forget. When it comes to geopolitics and economics, we can take that lesson anywhere, right? And we want to learn lessons, not because we went through them, the bad lessons, the hard lessons. We want to watch other people fall and then go, and not that we want to watch people fall, we want to help people, right? But countries right now are making dumb decisions. I mean, to say countries make some stupid decisions is an understatement, but I want you to understand, just because you live in America or you live in Europe or you live in Canada, that doesn't mean it can't happen to you, right? These countries that are third world countries that have been suppressed, quite frankly, by governments like the US government, right? Keeping their thumb on them, like forcing them to take their dollars, all this kind of crazy stuff, right? I don't like it at all. But they make decisions and do things bad, horrible things to their people, force them because of their bad decisions. All right. So sorry, long intro, but I want to sort of build people's attention for this, because I believe that there is a day that this will happen in America. All right. Possibly not to this extent, but I'm telling you, this will happen. And this is where we need to keep our minds. And as long as you understand that there could be the possibility of this happening, then you will be prepared for it. And you won't be scared when it happens. You won't be nervous. You'll be like, all right, copy. I got plan B, C, D, E, F, G, L, M, N, O, P. I got them all. I'm ready to rock and roll. All right. And then because I have all those plans in my pocket, just plans, I'm going to go crush it. All right. I'm going to take advantage of the situation while everyone else is freaking out. All right, here we go. Nigeria limits ATM withdrawals to $45 per day to force government-controlled digital payments. Now, we all know, guys, that the digital currency is coming out in 2023. You don't have to believe me for that. It's the Federal Reserve said it. The U.S. government said it. I mean, if you haven't been paying attention, it's they put it out little by little, and they don't put it on prime time. Thursday night, you know, when you're watching The Cosby Show. You guys remember those days? That was awesome. But they put it out just enough to where they can't say, what, you didn't know it? You're dumb. Like, and then people will go, oh yeah, no, I knew it. I knew we were getting forced to digital currency. But the truth is, when a certain point, they're going to give it out freely, and it's going to be like dopamine, just like, give me free money, and I'm going to go buy a Louis, and I'm going to go buy things I can't afford, and like food, and things like that, right? Rent. But then what's going to happen is they're going to force it on the rest of the people. And the way they force it is they take away cash and a couple other things. So we're going to go over what's going on in Nigeria. And then I want you to think, and please comment down in the comment section below if you think this could happen here and how they may enforce it. It says a staggering number of Nigerians love Bitcoin, but hate government cryptocurrencies. All right. Two totally different things. I want people to understand that. And by the way, guys, if you do not have your cryptocurrencies on a solid device, either a paper wallet, cold storage, offline, you need to do that. All right. So get it off the exchanges. I've got a link to Trezor. I love Trezors. I love the Model T, but like do that. Okay. And this isn't a cryptocurrency video. In April, leading cryptocurrency exchange KuCoin noted that 35% of the adult population in Nigeria, roughly 34 million adults aged 18 to 60, own Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. But when it came to the country's central bank digital currency, the Naira, I can't even imagine what some of these names are going to be. It was a massive failure. Well, no, duh. Hey guys, you know, we did so well with that paper currency. It's amazingly soft to wipe your butt with. Let's make ourselves a digital currency. Well, what if we shock ourselves? Well, you don't put that down there. Seriously, it's just not good. Not a good plan. According to Bloomberg, only 1 in 200 Nigerians use the Naira. Despite government implemented discounts and other incentives, implemented as desperate measures to increase adoption. Now, the government is looking to boost digital payments by limiting ATM withdrawals to just 20,000 Naira, or just roughly US equivalent of $45 a day. So they have not gotten rid of cash yet. There's a point where they're just going to go, you know, we're the ones that make it. We're just going to turn off the printer. Oh, we forgot to put ink in the printer. That's weird. Sorry, they're out of it at Staples. That's what's going to happen, all right? So this is the measure before they just go, oh, it's gone, all right? Because the point when cash goes bye-bye, then it starts to get nutty, a little nutty. So they're trying to ease adoption. I know it sounds crazy, like trying to ram it down your throat, but they're actually trying to slow down and ease adoption. Like, hey, you can still have your cash. You just can't have all your cash. You know, it's almost like Blackstone. Guys, by the way, I just did a story on, well, I didn't do it. My twin brother did, a real estate ninja, on Blackstone, how they are limiting withdrawals out of their real estate investment trust to pension funds. Your pension fund more than likely has money in Blackstone, and because real estate's collapsing and all these pension funds are trying to grab all their money right now, and you have what's going on in Florida with DeSantis pulling $2 billion out of that fund, it's getting absolutely nutty. And so I got to go check that out. I'm going to put a link to that story down in the comment section, okay? If I remember, I hope so. But it's at Real Estate Ninja. It's the newest video. So think about it. They are slowly doing this. They haven't taken cash away yet. They're trying to force people. So go from 1 to 200 Nigerians to maybe 2 out of 200 Nigerians. It says the action is the latest in a string of central bank orders aimed at limiting the use of cash and expand digital currencies to help improve access to banking. In Nigeria's largely informal economy, cash outside banks represents 85% of the currency in circulation, and almost 40 million adults are without a bank account. Now, guys, I'm not going to read any more of this story because I read really bad. But I'm going to tell you this. This is what's really important here. I'll link it below. Think about the amount of percentage that we in America or in Europe use in cash. It is nothing compared to Nigeria, right? They are primarily, dominantly a cash rich country. They are literally cash rich. That's totally that's an oxymoron. Is that even the right term? I need somebody behind me with a book going, yes, that is the right term. No, Ninja, that is wrong. Point being is this. It is so much easier. It will be so much easier to get Americans hooked, to get Europeans hooked, to get Australians hooked. I feel sad for Australians, holy cow, to see what they've gone through. And Canadians, I feel sorry for them. I feel sorry for everybody at this point. The masses are asleep. They already use digital currency because, not that it's digital like a blockchain, it's digital in the form that it's just ones and zeros on a computer. Hey, I want to go get a mortgage. Bank's like, cool, you got it. Like, really? Where is it? Oh, it's there. It's in your bank account. It's just there. I see it. There's just numbers. We already are. We're already there. So Nigeria, if you think about it, if Nigeria is able to move the needle and get more of their population that literally only, 85% predominantly run on cash, if they can get that needle moved, I'm going to tell you right now, if you think for a second that you're going to get out of this, you're going to be very hard pressed. Unless you start to literally try and push the needle faster, and that's what I'm doing. Warn the world, share with the world to get out of currencies now and move into precious metals. Not for a means of, bartering or things like that, but a means of value. And what happens is you show the governments, because you're out there all buying up the metal, and you see the demand spike, and you see the values rise versus the currencies, and then the countries start going, crap, we're screwed, what do we do? And they're gonna go, okay, well, at least we could do this, we could back our currency in this. You know, it's almost like a push back. Because right now, we're so entrenched digitally and ones and zeros, our currency is already binary code. Think about it that way, guys. You're talking about a lot of people. Don't put your nose down to Nigeria. Don't say, oh, they're a third world country. We're so much better than them. They are so oil rich, it's insane. And they've been through a lot. And to sit there and watch how this is rolling out, you are literally, this is the precursor. This is the foreshadowing of what is coming to your country, a country near you. And so my heart goes out to the Nigerians. Boy, I hope Nigerians jump on this channel right now and start sharing their stories, because I want to hear it. Because we need to hear other people's stories of what they're going through so we can come up with a battle plan and go to battle ourselves. All right, guys, that being said, I thank you so much for watching. The Economic Ninja is out.
Okay, so, and I never turned my mic off, super duper. There were some comments in the chats. I moved all my crypto except one, and it won't budge. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. Listen, they don't want you to take your money out of anything. The banks don't want you to take any money out of the bank. Crypto guys don't want you to move your money out of crypto. You just heard it right from the Economic Ninja that if some of the money that's set aside retirement accounts that are used to invest in realty, the realty companies don't want to give the money back. So, what's up, Praz? Praz the Rocker. Just another day. Let's see here. We had some other comments in the YouTube. This one was actually kind of hits home a little bit, because I was talking to somebody about this the other day. Got to go to work, but I'll watch the replay later on YouTube. Y'all bless. Talk to you later, Tiff Gog. This cold and flu season is bad already. I laugh every time I watch George Carlin. I cannot even order a rare steak anymore without being warned about it. And that came from Donna. Donna, you're absolutely right. I had this conversation I think it was in the Patreon Discord side. This was basically, this person was telling me that basically a third of the school children in their area are at home with the flu, that the amoxicillin shortage has really started messing with people, and the schools don't know what to do about it. This could be the precursor. So if everybody wasn't paying attention, that the whole the flu disappeared in 2019 and 2020. If you don't remember, it just disappeared. There was no more flu. Gee, I wonder. This could be the thing, and they're always talked about it. Every year they never have enough They never have enough of those things that are supposed to fight the flu, because they always have to guess as to which strain it is. So, doesn't that all sound really, really familiar? You know, it's like apples to apples. They're kind of like together. They're kind of together. The whole flu and that other thing. I would on Pineapple lost her babysitter. My babysitter canceled on me last minute this morning because she has the flu. That sucks. Curveball. Oh, let's see. Are you guys need to find out your veterinarians have amoxicillin for the dogs? That's the same amoxicillin that you can buy at any pet store. That's where I would recommend that you get that, Boomerang. I wouldn't even worry about the vets. Google tells you exactly how much you're supposed to give. Go get it. Write it on the bottle. It's all done by weight. Let's see. Make an appointment at the veterinarian. They'll get you some amoxicillin. Yeah. No flu, no RSV. Let's see here. My grandson had influenza A. None of the pharmacies in town had Tamiflu. Oh yeah, I believe it, Tina. Absolutely, 100% believe it. Like people are not like the only people that are paying attention are the fucking preppers. Excuse my French. That one was. I try to stay away from that one. No, I'm saying that our veterinarians have amoxicillin for animals, but they don't have it for us. Oh, I gotcha. What's up, Harper Beam? I mean, we've talked about this before. I try not to do the shameless self-promotion. Look, you see that over there? I've got plenty of amoxicillin for humans because I bought it legally from a doctor with a prescription. And it costs the same amount to get all of that it would for you to go to the doctor. If you doubt me, link in the bio. Jace Medical, Contingency Medical. There's even a third company out there that I'm starting to like, but I haven't really done anything. They want 8 weeks boosters now. Well, I mean, they can want all they want. You speak French well. Yes, parlez-vous français? Let's see here. We had a friend vacation in Mexico and made her bring us 2 bottles of amoxicillin. Good for you, Pawnee. I love it. I ordered some because of you. Yes, it is a must. Look, guys, I'm still treating Penny. This is amoxiclavin, 875, 125. She gets one of these every day, or not one of these, 1/4 of these every day because she's 47 pounds. And her leg is looking 1,000 times better. It is taking forever because she won't stop chewing on it, you know. And it's in a spot where I'd literally have to put like a dome the size of a Mack truck around her head to not be able to chew on it. Boosters because they don't work. You don't want to get me started here. I don't want to get shut down. Okay. Like I said, this is a conversation for Rumble, and I may be making a Rumble video here very shortly. So I watched. I finally got around to watching the where's it? I put it in the general chat. I'm not going to say the full words, but it was basically croaked suddenly. Use the more calmer one, like if they put it in a newspaper or something like that. I watched that on Rumble yesterday. I spent an hour and 4 minutes, I think, watching this movie. It was horrifying. It should sicken you to your stomach, and I pray that you do not have the problems that these people had. And it was common. It wasn't like, oh, 1 in 1,000. I watched them do the autopsy. It was absolutely insane, the things that they were pulling out of people's bodies. I watched a good minute and a half of them showing the videos of people that were like watching people die from other people's cameras or on TV, or I mean just watching them. And watching them all do the same thing. They either keeled over or they like reached up for something that wasn't there and then spun around in a circle, and it's devastating. That stuff will never go in my body. That movie changed everything. It literally locked in that there is a conspiracy to lower the population on the planet. There's no other reason why. You can't even lock this into it's just Big Pharma trying to make money. It's just trying to get rich. This goes well beyond this. This is freaking evil. And I think that's all I'm going to say on it because, like I said, I'd like to keep my YouTube channel. And I'll let you guys know when I make that video. I'll tell the people it's time to rumble, and you guys should know what that means. When I say it's time to rumble, that means go to my Rumble channel, and I'll make sure that you have some kind of link to it. Because I'm not about stating the obvious. We all know that shit's going on. But when you see, if you have not watched this movie, I put it in the global or in the general chat yesterday, and I called everyone out. I said, if you have not seen this movie, you are complacent. Okay, let's see. Clapper ahead of TikTok, TikTok ahead of YouTube. Got you. Okay. Clapper's going at it, man. Let's see here. I think that's going to be about it. I don't think I have anything else to talk about. I did have the statistics for, excuse me, and the title of the statistics, it's something called Finder.com, but Finder.com does like deep dives on, excuse me, information. And the title of it, you can look it up yourself. It's Doomsday Prepper Statistics. End times front of minds for around, get this, 45% of Americans. Wow. Absolutely wow. Hey, little disclaimer, guys. Do not let your children watch that movie. Do not let your children watch that movie. It is not, that is not meant for their eyes. Do not let your teenagers watch that movie. Okay? It is not meant for their eyes. If this comes to fruition, they do not need to know this. Not a joke. Serious as a heart attack. Okay, let's see here. I'm 11 minutes over. It's a Friday. Admin notes. Patreons, don't forget. 7:30 tonight. Bring your libations. Don't be a slacker. It's time to stop being a slacker. We need each other. We'll see you then. You'll show up when you show up. I'll try to stick around as long as I can. And God forbid, I don't know what it is lately. It's like the last 2 times have been okay, but the times before that, it was like 3 times in a row I couldn't show up because of some crazy crap that was going on. Let's see. I stepped away. What movie? It's called Suddenly... shit, what's it called? That's not it. You're killing me, man. It's called Died Suddenly. Look it up. It's on Rumble. It's on Rumble, and it's free to watch. Okay, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and call it. Patreon, 7:30 Eastern tonight. It's time to do a little bit of adulting in a fun way, but we can also talk about a lot of other things. It's a good way to vent for what's been going on. Also, we've got some family members out there that are like really hard. One of them, their child has Lyme's disease, seizures. The doctors aren't listening. So if you do the prayer thing, definitely put them in your prayers. We've got a lot of people that are sick right now that have several in the group have caught that thing we can't speak about and are now recovering from it. So pray for their taste buds to return and bless them with many doses of NyQuil because that's all the flu really needs. Hint, hint. Let's see. I think that's about it. I'm going to go ahead and shut the YouTube off, and then I will see you guys on the inside. You know what that means. Thanks for watching, and I hope you decide to support the page. If you like what I'm doing, go ahead and hit the link below. If it didn't take you directly to it, you can just hit the support page. That's what it should look like. All you have to do is either hit the Patreon symbol or the join button. Doesn't matter. Just hit it, and that'll get you started. It's $3 a month for 30-ish days, of work from me. The price of a Starbucks coffee. So until the next time, stay safe, have a great day, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye-bye.